In the depths of a remote wilderness, a young woman made a daring decision to plunge into the serenity of a secluded lake. But as she moved through the water with grace, a growing unease took hold of her. On the shore, an unfamiliar man lurked, his gaze fixated upon her every move. Who was he? What secrets did he hold, and why was he silently tailing her? Before that, her phone rings and the call goes to voicemail, requesting a message for Amber. A woman's voice can be heard crying as she begs her daughter to return home. Meanwhile, a cheerful young couple steals a vehicle and embarks on a journey. The next day, the young woman wakes up in a car parked in the middle of the woods. She soon realizes that her boyfriend Jake is nowhere to be found. However, her fears are alleviated when she spots him relieving himself nearby, and Amber feels reassured. The mobile phone vibrates, indicating an incoming call from home. The young woman chooses to disregard it. Her companion arrives, and she inquires if they've reached Florida yet. Her partner confirms that they have not, and admits to being unaware of the exact route. The young lady searches the glove compartment, hoping to find a map, but instead comes across a handgun. Her partner offers to instruct her on how to operate it, resulting in a gunshot being fired. Although her partner is content with her initial effort, he encourages her to try again with her eyes open. The young woman ponders whether she appears good with a firearm, and her partner jokingly remarks that he would not want to confront her. She points the gun at him in response. Jake expresses his discomfort with her behavior, but she insists that he kneel down. Despite feeling uneasy, he decides to play along. Amber instructs him to close his eyes and count to 10, and Jake complies with her request. The young woman then asks him to count more slowly, and he obliges. When he opens his eyes, he sees Amber laughing and running away from him. He chases after her, and they eventually arrive at a small lake. Amber strips down and dives into the water, but she becomes surprised when Jake fails to locate her after a while. The main character spots an unknown person on the beach who approaches her and asks about her thoughts on the water. Despite feeling uneasy, she responds that it is pleasant. The stranger notices her discomfort and questions whether he is causing her anxiety. Although she tries to remain composed, the girl suspects that he might be following her and swims parallel to the shore. The stranger gradually moves toward her, causing her to feel alarmed. She looks around and asks if he is tailing her. He denies it, explaining that he is only admiring the view. To ease the tension, the protagonist playfully calls him a bad boy. The unknown individual queries whether the vehicle parked nearby belongs to the girl. With a nervous smile, the woman asks if he has seen a man in the vicinity. The man requests that she swim closer as he cannot hear her clearly. He asks for her name, causing Amber's previously cheerful demeanor to fade. She reluctantly discloses her name, glancing briefly at her clothing and firearm. The stranger inquires why she is not attending school, to which she responds that she doesn't go to school. Concerned that he might upset her boyfriend by talking to her, he cautions her about the hazardous nature of the area, where several individuals drown each year, typically while swimming alone. Amber tries not to reveal her fear and assures the stranger that she is fine with a smile before swimming away. The man gazes at her fixedly and expresses his admiration for her hair, causing the tension to increase. Amber expresses gratitude for his compliment. The stranger observes that the girl appears to be fatigued and inquires if she would like to swim to shore. Amber declines, preferring to wait for her boyfriend. The man assures her that he will not look at her, allowing her to exit the water without being observed. Despite shivering from the cold, Amber declines his idea. Following a brief silence, the stranger expresses skepticism about the boy's arrival. This causes Amber to become very anxious, prompting her to modify her strategy. She threatens the man, warning him that her boyfriend will demolish his facade if he does not leave the area. However, the man seems unconvinced and surprises Amber by informing her that her boyfriend has passed away. Despite her fear, Amber rejects this claim and calls out to her partner. She is advised to leave the water by the cold-blooded stranger since she can be confident that no one will hear her there. Feeling bewildered, the young woman swims away from the shore. Amber realizes that the man has vanished, prompting her to return to the land despite feeling exhausted and chilly. She shivers as she retrieves her clothes but is unable to locate the firearm. After hastily getting dressed, Amber departs from the lake and dashes through the forest while calling out her boyfriend's name, but receives no reply. Eventually, she locates her car and speeds away, tears streaming down her face. As she contacts Jake, a hand gradually reaches towards Amber's head from the rear seat.